Hey, what is happening? Dr. Z here. ZuluTime episode number 145, and today we're going to be talking about diabetes and how do you know if you have diabetes. We're going to talk about how do you diagnose diabetes, and then we're going to talk about how do you follow up with diabetes. And so, the first thing to know is that a lot of people come to the hospital because they're having weight loss, they're feeling super tired, super thirsty, they're going to the bathroom frequently to pee, and usually that's how diabetes is presented. Um, and that is more type 1 diabetes, and type 2 diabetes is a little bit more over time. Most of the times, type 1 diabetes used to happen in kids. We're seeing a little bit of both in adults now, and the same thing, type 2 diabetes, which is usually associated with adults, we're seeing it more in kids. And so, usually, those were the symptoms that were associated with type 1 diabetes, like weight loss, suddenly weight loss, a lot of thirst, a lot of going to the bathroom and peeing. With type 2 diabetics, it's a little bit the same, but more over time. And actually, most of the times, type 2 diabetics have weight gain. And so then, after you have the symptoms, how do you diagnose diabetes? And so there's a couple of ways of diagnosing diabetes, and there's a couple of classes of diabetes. So we talked about diabetes type 1, diabetes type 2. We have gestational diabetes, and the fourth one is diabetes associated with pregnancy. But for the purpose of this video, we're just going to talk about two types of diabetes, type 1 and type 2. And so, how do you diagnose diabetes? And so, the easiest way is to actually have somebody fasting. And if they fasted for about 8 hours and their sugar is higher than 126, then that is a clear diagnosis of diabetes right there. The other way to do it is actually to give somebody some sugar. They usually give like 78 grams of sugar, and if their sugar goes higher after an amount of time more than 200, then you know that they're diabetic. Or if somebody has a random sugar of 200, like you just check your sugar, and you haven't had a shake or anything like that, anything sugary, then you know that they're diabetics. One of the ways that we're diagnosing diabetes more and more and more nowadays is called hemoglobin A1C. The hemoglobin A1C is this little molecule that helps us carry the blood. But what happens is that if the sugar is really high in our blood, then we get stuck to this little molecule. But the cool thing is that we can use that as our blood work because we can check that little molecule and see if it has sugar stuck in it, right? And so that gives us a good average of what the sugar has been in the body for the past 3 months. And so this is the hemoglobin A1C, and that's actually being used more and more and more to be able to diagnose type 1 and type 2 diabetes. Um, Usually, type 1 diabetics, if they're not diagnosed, they come to the hospital very, 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 very sick. And so that's kind of the way that you, the symptoms, and then that is the way that you diagnose it. And then how do you follow up? How do you follow up with diabetes? Well, the main way that we're following up with diabetes now is using the hemoglobin A1C, using that number that I told you about. Of course, people at home, they should check their sugars daily to be able to make sure that they're not getting sicker and sicker and sicker. But the hemoglobin A1C, the number that I mentioned to you guys, that one you can check in the office or at the hospital. And even they're making home kits now, and that'll give you a good average of the past 3 months. And you want that number to be less than 6.5. And that's usually pretty good. Um, Pre-diabetics. Now, if you're pre-diabetic, you're around that number, and your chances of going into full-blown diabetes is about 30% more. So, definitely something to check out. And then another thing to follow up with type 2 diabetes is that it starts affecting every part of the body. It's pretty much like you're pumping sugar into every part of your body. So you're gonna have sugar in your eyes, you're gonna have sugar in your ears, you're gonna have sugar in your heart, you're gonna have sugar in your kidneys, and it all starts affecting in your nerves, and so you end up with your nerves, you end up with pain, burning pain in your eyes, you can't see, your ears, you can't hear. All kinds of stuff starts going wrong with type 2 diabetes. So you have to check all those things and then check the sugars to be able to make sure that they're going down. Now, a great thing is that now studies show that it's actually type 2 diabetes is completely reversible. So we can reverse it. There's no point there's no reason why somebody should have type 2 diabetes forever. We can actually get out of it. It's just by the habits that we take. So in Ireland, they did this study where if you lose 15 kilograms of weight, you're actually going to have a complete remission of type 2 diabetes. About 86% of the patients are going to have complete remission of type 2 diabetes. So if you're listening to this right now and you have type 2 diabetes, know that it's not like a death sentence. You can get out of it. It's going to take hard work. It's not going to be easy, but there's a lot of cool little tricks that you can do that I'll be discussing in the next coming days about how to do it. All right, that's it for today. Dr. Z here. You guys have a great day. And remember, take it easy.